Well, that wraps up another one. I want to thank you all so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on The Ron Judd Show. Bye-bye, everyone.
And then the giraffe says, "Be quiet, you two, or you're gonna get us both fired."
Corey, your jokes are getting so much better.
Not fast enough.
Well, that's it for tonight. What do you guys want to do now?
Well, Adrienne and I are going out for a few drinks.
Oh, well, that sounds good. Corey and I will join you.
I don't think so, Ron. It's a girls' night out. We've been planning this all week.
Oh. Well, maybe next time then.
Yeah, we'll go out soon. You ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, buddy, I mean, you and me could go hang out at my place afterwards if you want.
Yeah, that sounds all right. Why don't we do that? Let them have their girls' night out. We'll have a guys' night in.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Did I ever tell you about the Jewish guy who was looking for a job?
Oh, brother.
Hey, good evening. What can I get you?
I would like a beer, please.
Okay. Coming right up. And about you?
Rum and cola.
All right.
I've always wondered, how did you and Ron meet? I mean, was he always chasing after you?
You never heard that story? Okay. So when I was 8, my family moved in next door to Ron's, and it was summertime, so we pretty much spent the entire time together, just hanging out and talking, and I was going through a rough time, and he was just somebody I could just open up and talk to.
So, did he have a crush on you from the beginning?
No, that happened later.
So, when did things start developing?
And things started to develop.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but those first few years are so innocent, and love was the last thing on our minds.
Those first few years were so beautiful. I mean, she used to really show me her love back then.
What do you mean?
Well, she was going through a lot of rough family issues at the time, and I seemed to be someone she could really open up to and express her feelings.
And so she said she loved you?
It's not so much that she said the words, it's more in the way she expressed things. I could feel it, I mean, these days it seems like she keeps a lot of things to herself.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just because she's more on guard with you since you've been making all these advances.
I can't help it, Corey. Beverly and I were meant to be together. I learned that way back in the 5th grade.
She must have missed that class. I know. I bother you sometimes.
Yes.
So, when did you first discover your destiny was with Beverly?
Well, there were a few things that happened that year. One thing was when we were building a treehouse together.
Oh, the treehouse? Man, I love that thing.
Really? That kind of surprises me. I mean, I thought you'd be upset that we, never let you in it.
Well, you never let me in it, but Beverly did sometimes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And I didn't know you both built it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we spent a whole summer working on that thing.
Ron came up with this idea to build a treehouse, and I spent the whole summer working on it.
He didn't help with it at all?
Well, he tried at first, but Ron's not much of a handyman, so it just ended up just be easier if I built it, and he pretty much just hung out and watched.
And fell in love with you.
Looking back, that was when we really started spending all of our time together. And I think fall in love came just a little later.
Well, whenever he fell hard.
I wish I knew what to do with him.
You do know. You just won't do it.
Wait, what?
You might be fooling him, but not me. The way he comes on to you every time he sees you, lifelong friend or not, if you didn't have feelings for him, you wouldn't still be hanging around.
Well, I care about him, but...
But what?
Okay, it's not that I don't want a relationship with him. It's just we have such a great friendship that if we went out together and it didn't work, then what would happen to us?
I don't know, and I guess you never will either. All I know is if I were in your situation, I'd rather take that risk than miss out on something that might be wonderful.
probably right. I'm just not quite ready to take that step yet.
Sure. Maybe you should wait another 20 years.
Do you want to hear the rest of the story or not?
Yes, I do. Go ahead.
So Ron's mom was friends with Corey's mom, and they lived in an apartment building down the street where there was a pool. And we were about 11 or 12. We spent a lot of time down there.
That's funny. I don't picture Ron being much of a swimmer.
Yeah, you pictured right. The one and only time he got in was when he was trying to show off and almost drowned himself.
Oh no, what happened?
I rescued him. Mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and all.
Well, let me guess. That was when it began.
Exactly. And I still remember the look that he gave me. In fact, he's looked at me the same way ever since then.
And so we were sitting by the pool, and she kissed me. I mean, right on the lips.
I don't know, Ron. That doesn't really sound like Beverly. I grew up with you guys, and I don't remember anything like that happening.
Well, Corey, you know perfectly well I wouldn't make up something like that. I mean, besides, you wouldn't remember anyway. You were probably, 3 then.
I do remember the pool, though.
Corey, when you moved out of your mom's apartment, how far did you go?
Next door? Why?
No reason.
We used to have so much fun around this place, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
The old game shows that we used to make up.
Ah, yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Ron Judd, and welcome to Punishment, the game where you have to make up the best pun on the spot. But if yours is the worst pun, you're sentenced to the punishment of the week. Corey, tell them about this week's punishment.
If your pun is too bad, you will be forced to ride a pickup truck with 3 fat cowboys and then be brought downtown where you will have to get 300 people to ask you for change or a cigarette, which should only take about 10 minutes. Then you will have to come back here and listen to Ron sing for the rest of the day.
Thank you, Corey. And now let's meet our first guest, Harrison.
Well, hi Ron. This might be a little cheesy, but it's good to meet you.
Oh, man, that was bad. 1 point for that only. What? And now let's meet our other guest, Forrest. Well, I must say it's ironic that I would be a guest on your show, since actually I am Ron.
Ironic? That's the best that you came up with, and you said mine was bad?
Come on, Corey. Mine was better, and you know it. Don't be a sore loser.
Whatever you say. We haven't played that game forever.
When are those cowboys going to come pick you up?
Oh my gosh.
So I agreed to go on stage with him one time, and since then, he's been putting me in a whole bunch of skits.
I'm surprised he hasn't asked you to sing.
Are you kidding? I was smart enough to keep him from finding out I could sing or dance for that matter. Corey doesn't even know that I can sing or dance.
Well, that's good because if he knew, Ron would too.
That's true. Keeping secrets isn't one of his strong points.
Neither is doing magic tricks.
Or noticing the obvious.
What is he good at?
You know? I really don't know. All I know is what he's not good at.
Same here.
The only reason why Ron knew I could act was because we used to do these play acting games with him and Corey. We used to make up funny game shows and things.
Now that I can picture.
You know, I never minded Corey hanging out with us, but I think it bothered Ron sometimes.
Well, sure, he wanted his alone time with you.
Ron used to come up with these crazy ideas to keep Corey occupied.
Well, I never minded you hanging out with us. It was Beverly that really got tired of it once in a while.
I always got the impression that you always wanted to get rid of me.
Well, that's just because Beverly always made me do the dirty work. I mean, I'd have been happy to have you with us the whole time.
Then why was she the one who always let me in the treehouse?
So that you wouldn't know it was her?
Oh, okay.
Remember we used to tell you there was a giant stuffed dog running around the apartment complex, and if you found it, you could keep it?
Yeah, I think I remember that.
You were so little and gullible back then.
Come to think of it, I never found that dog.
And now you're not so little anymore.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Don't mention it. To anyone. Ever.
Hey, aren't you kind of glad that Adrienne's back?
Oh, are you kidding? I mean, it's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, I really missed her.
For different reasons than I have, I take it?
Huh? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
Huh. Okay.
So, what do you think they're up to right now?
Well, that's pretty late. Beverly's already home in bed. Trust me, I know her better than anyone.
Bartender, 2 more, please.
Sure thing.
I would normally be home in bed by now, but it's been so great seeing you and spending time together.
Where did you leave off in the story?
The apartments. Ron used to send Corey off on this wild goose chase. Or should I actually say wild stuffed dog chase?
Stuffed dog.
That's what he said. Poor Corey must have wandered through those apartments 100 times looking for that dog.
That would explain the way he is.
No, he was like that before.
So, but that bought Ron some time alone with you. I mean, what did he do?
Back then, not much, believe it or not. He would actually just would walk around with me and hang on to every word that I said. But in a way, it was kind of nice for me to have somebody to talk to because I was going through a bunch of stuff, and it's just nice to have someone listen to me while I rambled on.
What all had happened to you?
I'd rather not get into it. But let's just say I have a long line of abuse from my mother's boyfriends.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
But that would explain a lot.
Like what?
Like your reluctance to get involved with Ron and any other guy for that matter.
I've been involved with other guys.
How long?
Never mind.
See what I mean?
Corey, you don't understand because you don't know the whole story. And it's not my place to tell you about Beverly's childhood, but she had it really rough. I mean, trust me about that.
So that's why she won't go out with you.
So far. But, she'll come around eventually.
You may be the most patient man in the world, and I haven't even seen you go out with any other woman.
Well, of course not. Because I haven't.
So, you've never even kissed a girl?
Well, just her that day by the pool.
You know she's gone out with other guys.
Yeah, 2, but just a date or 2 each. And I mean, I was really bothered by that at the time, but, at least nothing came of it.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, there's been 6.
6? How come I didn't know about this?
Well, maybe it's because she was keeping it a secret, but I don't know why.
6? Were any of them ongoing?
I don't know. She doesn't always tell me everything either.
Well, has she ever talked to you about me?
Do you want pizza? I want pizza. Pizza sounds good.
Corey, I asked you a question.
Yeah, she talks about you.
And?
And she talks about a lot of stuff. She talks about her job, Mrs. Ferguson, the show. She talks about a lot of stuff that doesn't really matter. So,
I meant, and what about me?
You sure you don't want pizza?
So what do you suppose the guys did tonight?
Corey probably invited Ron over to his place, and I'm guessing that he's still there talking, even though Corey probably wanted to go to bed about an hour ago.
It's fun to see how well you guys know each other.
Yeah, well, when you see friends almost every day of your life, that's what happens.
So how has Ron reacted to you dating other guys?
How do you think he reacted? He only knows about 2, though.
2 out of...
I don't know, 10, maybe more? It doesn't matter. There's only one that I dated for any length of time.
How did you keep Ron from finding out?
Well, sometimes it wasn't easy, especially since I think Corey knew about some of them.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but actually Ron was way better at keeping dates a secret than I ever was. I've never even heard about any of his dates.
Maybe he's never had any.
You're so funny. There's no way he could have gone through his entire life without seeing another woman.
I'm sure you're right, but what if he has?
Well, if he has, that creates a real problem.
And what's that?
Well, that would prove that he really is in love with me and not infatuated, and how can I say no to that? On the other hand, it would also make him way too good for me, and how can I say yes?
Well, I'm about done with my drink. How about you?
Yeah, me too. We should probably get going.
We should do this again next week.
Good idea. The next time we gotta let Ron and Corey come along just so they don't feel left out.